The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
I'm your girl, thePLAINESTjane, and let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now. What up and welcome back. It's your girl Jane, the plainest Jane, and y'all know on my channel here I serve black news in the form of I serve syrup in the form of black news and celebrity entertainment. I'm excited to speak to y'all this evening. Excuse me getting tongue-tied. It's my third live this evening after I got off work. Okay, so shout out to me. Okay, and shout out to y'all for supporting the channel and even being here this evening. I'm tired. Part of me felt like, girl, just go to sleep. And I said, you know what? I told these people I was going to give them a third live, and that's what I'm going to do. So we spoke about this old swindling pastor, a.k.a. Reverend Revenue. All right. We spoke about him earlier this evening. We had a legal professional on here earlier. She's actually a practicing attorney, and she helped us break down and fill in the blanks and give us clarity to all of the different motions and paperwork that are being exchanged back and forth, because now he's swindling churches from people, right? Come on in, everybody. Have a seat on the bus. Y'all know things are always sticky in Hollywood and in real life. And we're about to get into the latest breaking news about him, which is, look, did you read the title? This man lied to get a loan to finance his New Jersey mansion, which is $1 million mansion. Okay. And he lied and said that he had over $2 million in the bank account, when really there was less than $10 in the bank account. I mean, like, let's get into it. We're going to go over the court documents. There's an additional fraud charge, and that's exactly what this is. This is an additional fraud charge on top of, in addition to his federal indictment. So they're really trying to make sure these charges stick. Okay. There are some lies and some, just some untruths that he hasn't, that the feds have realized since they drafted and executed the original indictment. And this is a superseding indictment is what they call it, so that they don't, it's not separate. It's a superseding indictment, meaning they're tacking it onto the indictment that already exists. A lot of us know he spent some time in jail in December based on the federal indictment around that time. So apparently he went live. Okay. It's almost 11 o'clock over here in Baltimore. And he went live yesterday because your attorneys kind of know when these things are coming down the pipeline, and the news didn't break until today. But yesterday, it seemed like he had gotten notification from his attorney that this was a thing and that it's happening. So he seemed a bit down in spirits yesterday. And here we are. We're going to go through the court documents, and we're going to go over the narrative so that you understand the narrative. And then we're going to get into the court documents, each and every one of them. We're going to read them. We're going to act up. We're going to kiki. We're going to giggle. This is the third live of the evening. The first live we did was a black news story that really everybody needs to hear about. It was definitely, there was nothing happy about that live. The second live was about him swindling churches and going over some of those documents. And I'll break those documents down a little bit further in later videos for members only first. But now we're going to get into the news that broke today, which is, oh boy, you lying on loan applications. Not only that, he's lying about bank accounts that don't even exist. So not only did he lie about the bank account that had less than $10 in it, there was another place where he's, forging these documents with these fake bank statements. Another one, he faked a bank statement and the bank account didn't even exist, let alone him lying about how much was in the account. So baby, it's sticky, it's nasty, it's funny. Yes, it is funny because this is not a man of God. He is using people who are just addicted to anybody that seems or sounds Christ-like to them, people who lack discernment and common sense. This is clearly a career criminal. He doesn't know how to live life right at all. And so there's some people being swindled out of their time, their energy, and most importantly, their money. And they're supporting him like sheep. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get it's Mr. Steal Your Church. Oh, don't start. Oh, I'm already on one tonight. Don't get me started. Okay. It's Mr. Steal Your Church. Let's go ahead and get started. Make sure y'all come on in and hit thumbs up. It's free. If you're looking for ways to support the show, hitting the thumbs up button is a great way to do it, and it's free. You can send a cash app. It's right here on the screen. $THA, thePLAINESTjane. Or another free way to do it, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. There are lots of different ways you can support the show without necessarily reaching into your wallet, okay? I appreciate you all being here. Now, let's go ahead and get into the setup. Shall we?
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
All right, so let's get into some of the narrative. And listen, happy hump day to you all. Happy Wednesday. I hope that y'all had a great Wednesday. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Let's read some of this narrative, and then we're going to get into these court documents and see how you all feel about it. All right. So, and mind you, when I became hip to this, it was before any of the articles even came out. Okay. But I had a couple of other videos I had to let out of the clip first. The main one being Khalil Azad. Then I had to get into the church because I had been researching that for about 3 to 4 days. And here we are here with the news that broke today. So I'm getting caught up, and baby, I don't know where this momentum came from, but it's here. So hit thumbs up for your girl, because I had did 2 lives. I had done 2 lives by 7 o'clock, let alone in 1 year. I can count on one hand how many times I go live before 7 o'clock, especially because I still work a 9 to 5, literally. So let's go ahead and get started. New York City Bishop Lamor Whitehead faked bank records to finance his New Jersey mansion. Okay. Now, controversial Brooklyn Bishop Lamor Whitehead fabricated bank records in an attempt to finance his $1 million New Jersey mansion. Federal prosecutors charged in a new indictment on Wednesday. To get a mortgage approved for the sprawling Paramus estate, Whitehead is 44 years old. I didn't know he was 44. Honestly, he has good skin, and as trash as he is, I can say he does have a youthful look to him. I think that's because he slathers that Vaseline all over his face and his lips every day. Greasy lips. Moving on. He altered bank records to make it appear that an LLC that he controlled had an average balance of more than $2 million, when it actually had less than $10, the feds allege. And I'm going to get into the court documents where it literally says that. They're not making this up. The embattled church leader who made headlines in 2022 when he was robbed at gunpoint, allegedly, of more than $1 million in jewels in front of his congregation, also allegedly created a fake bank account as a part of the scheme to get a mortgage loan in 2019. The pastor fabricated bank records for AMS LLC from at least in or about October 2018 up to and including February of 2019 in an effort to obtain a mortgage in excess of $1.3 million to fund his purchase of a home in New Jersey, according to the Manhattan federal prosecutors and the indictment. I get so sick of these Paw Patrol glasses. If he don't give these glasses back to his daughter as soon as possible, daughter can't see nothing. Up there looking like the girl from Scooby-Doo in the orange sweater. I can't find my glasses. Give that baby her glasses back. Sick of it. Sick of it. Please. Anyway. It's so tired of him and these goddamn Paw Patrol. Put that thumbs down too. Shit. All right. moving on though. He was also arrested by federal agents and hit with 4 charges in December of 2022. He was slapped with an additional count of wire fraud related to an alleged fabricated information, linked to the LLC. The feds also alleged that he applied for a fraudulent $250,000 business loan, $250,000 business loan using the LLC, Anointing Management Services, by similarly misrepresenting the finances of the company. Now, Whitehead wasn't granted the loan, according to the indictment, and it's unclear if the $1.3 million mansion mortgage was approved. Now, Whitehead leads a small congregation. You got that right. Baby, it's not small, it's tiny. Baby, it's not tiny, it's microscopic. Let me let my head down tonight because I'm acting a fool. Give y'all a little Baywatch. Let me get my baby, that congregation is literally a handful of people. And that's why I don't understand why he's doing all this to steal churches, because who are you really trying to cater to? He didn't upgrade it from the shoebox because he got kicked out of the shoebox. Okay. And now you got the newspaper saying, oh yeah, it's a small congregation. Yeah, it's small, all right. It's very teeny tiny. Itsy beeny teeny weeny. So Whitehead leads a small congregation in the Canarsie section of Brooklyn called Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries, where he preaches a prosperity gospel, and he asks his followers to sow a seed. I've heard him say that, sow a seed or donate money to the church. And so as we continue in this article here, the pastor, who has ties to Mayor Eric Adams dating back to 2013, he drives luxury cars and wears designer suits and pricey jewelry during his church services, as well as at his recent appearances in federal court. Now, what's really going on? All right. After his arrest in December, the Post viewed a white Rolls-Royce SUV and a white Mercedes G-Wagon parked in the driveway of his estate, which boasts 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. Now, what house got more bathrooms than bedrooms? Woo. Whitehead was previously charged for allegedly scamming a parishioner out of $90,000 and blowing it on luxury goods. He also faces an extortion charge for another scam in which he allegedly promised to use his influence to get favorable actions from the city in real estate deals. Now, he was robbed at gunpoint, allegedly, while preaching at the shoebox-sized church by a trio of masked bandits who forced him to the floor during the caper. 2 of the alleged robbers were charged in Brooklyn federal court and have pleaded not guilty. So, what say you, Stickies? What say you? What do you think? This church stealing mofo. Okay, now what we need to do. All right, now what we need to do is we need to get into the documents. Okay, we need to get into these court documents, and I want to know what you think about this as we read. All right. Had to let my hair down here because it's late. It's the last live. And I want to act up a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. Make sure you hit thumbs up on the video if you haven't already. Don't make me hit the brakes on this bus and kick you off. Okay? And I wish one of what's his name? Lamor Whitehead. I wish one of his groupies would come in here and say something, because I'll drop the link and let him talk. Is there anybody that's a fan of him, that's capping for him, that feels like I'm saying something that's tarnishing his name and he doesn't deserve the slander? Please speak now or forever hold your peace. Put a 1 in the chat if you support him and you want the link and you want to call it. All right. Let's get into these documents without a further ado. He going to jail. Matter of fact, do y'all think he's going to jail? You know what I found out about his attorney today? I found out that number one, his current attorney is disbarred in the state of Oklahoma. Hopefully New York will be the next state where they become disbarred, because it's just really sad how they're gypping these church owners out of their own church through frivolous motions and really abusing the court process. But also the attorney that he has now is an attorney that was anti him last year. I mean, like, they were on this whole campaign to say he's going to be in a jumpsuit. They were trying to work with all of his victims and the people who were, suing him in court. And now all of a sudden, this is his attorney. It's strange. It's strange. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my moderators. Shout out to the channel members. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. And you, I think your name is so funny. Say Def going to jail, turkey bacon. Turkey bacon. Your name is funny. So yeah, he's absolutely a scammer. Now, let's get into these documents. Okay? Let's get into that. The following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more Black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. Now, make sure y'all share this video. I know y'all not hitting the thumbs up because I see the numbers, but I'm going to leave that alone for a while, but I'm going to get on y'all ass in about 15 minutes about it. All right? Let's get into the first legal document that we're going to look at pertaining to this. Okay? This is the first legal document, and it is dated for today, March 8th. Okay? You can see it's to the judge, all that other good stuff. Now, let's really zoom in. It's the United States versus Lamor Miller-Whitehead. The government respectfully submits this letter to advise the court that on March 7th, 2023, a grand jury in this district returned to the above referred superseding indictment. The government has conferred with Don Esquire, counsel to the defendant, and parties jointly request that the court schedule the defendant's arraignment on the superseding indictment for the next court conference, currently scheduled for April 11th, 2023. The parties further jointly request that the court exclude the time under the speedy trial, in the interest of justice, because this continuance will permit the government time to produce any discovery with respect to the new charge in the superseding indictment and the defendant time to review that discovery. Furthermore, it's anticipated that under the existing schedule, the defendant will file pretrial motions on March 15th, which will necessarily result in exclusion. Is that what that says? Exclusion of time under the Speedy Trial Act. Okay. So that's the first thing that we're taking a look at. Next, we're getting into the documents that really outline exactly what he's done. Okay. So I took the time to get all these documents together. We're going to go through them. We're going to understand these documents together and really get an understanding of all of his crimes and the $10 in his bank account and all this other stuff, and why they found it necessary to put a superseding indictment on top of the existing federal indictment that still hasn't fully played out in court yet. Okay. Now I took the time to format all this stuff for y'all. Okay. The least y'all can do is hit thumbs up. And it's about 50 of y'all that ain't done it yet. So I'm going to get tired of it, cuss y'all out real quick, and we're going to be right back.
Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. You go to bed at night, you lay there, and you take responsibility for yourself.
You lay there and you take responsibility for yourself. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's keep getting into this man's business, and share this video if you just so want to, or if you follow me on Twitter, just go ahead and retweet it. Okay. Cause I tweeted it out right before I went live. And that's another way you can get notifications. Some people, they say they don't get the notifications. I post it in the Discord if you are a channel member so that you can get that notification, but I also post it on Twitter before I go live as well. So it'll help. It'll be headquarters to help you get those notifications. Now, as you can see, It says the United States of America versus Lamor Whitehead. All right. Now, this is page 1 of 10. And here we can see the overview. Let's get into it. Okay. Shout out to Artesia for sending me. Oh, thank you so much, T. Thank you so much for that Cash App. I appreciate that. I do. Thank you so much. So the charges in this indictment arise from a course of conduct in which Lamor scamming ass Whitehead, the defendant, sought to enrich himself through the use of both threats and falsehoods. Oh, not threats. Let me write that down. Threats? Where do threats come from? Through threats and lies, essentially. As a part of this course of conduct, Whitehead made not only the false representations in an effort to obtain loans, but also false promises that his victims' investments with him would benefit the victims financially. In fact, this scamming ass pastor who leads the church in Brooklyn intended and did defraud the victims by taking their money and other property with no intention of investing it, returning it, or enriching the victims. 2, in or about June of 2018. Oh, they went back and they added on stuff from 2018. This scamming ass pastor submitted to an online loan broker an application for a $250,000 business loan, $250,000, for anointing management services, which he calls AMS LLC. The business loan application and AMS respectively. Now, in the business loan application, this scamming ass pastor misrepresented the finances of the business, including, hold on. Okay, we at the end of the page. $250,000 loan application, misrepresented the finances of the LLC, including by submitting fabricated bank. Okay, let's get to the next document. Fabricating bank. See, I've done the work, formatted every page for y'all. Fabricating bank statements for the LLC account at bank number 1. Now, this scamming ass pastor ultimately was not issued the business loan. However, he continued to use fabricated bank statements for this bank number 1 account, among other fabricated bank records for the AMS LLC. From at least in or about October of 2018 up to and including in or about February of 2019, in an effort to obtain a mortgage in excess of $1.3 million to fund the purchase of a home in New Jersey. The material false statements in these loan applications included, among other things, entirely fabricating a bank account that did not, in fact, exist. Let's go ahead and go over that part again. Anointing management. Child. The material false statements in these loan applications included, among other things, entirely fabricating a bank account that did not, in fact, exist, and altering bank statements for the bank number 1 account to indicate that his LLC, AMS, had an average balance in excess of $2 million, when in fact, during that time period, this little business had an average, this business account had an average ending balance of less than $10. I said less than $10. Not Bishop Bling Bling. Not Mr. Fendi suit, Gucci, Louis, Prada, Paw Patrol glasses he steal from his daughter. I mean, if he gonna steal from his daughter, he gonna steal from anybody. I mean, nobody's off limits. Not even the congregation. Not even the 7 congregants he has. $10? Child. Do y'all see what I see? Do y'all see the $10? It's right here. Look at the amount. Less than $10. The feds made sure to make that known. Now, you said it was over $2 million in there, and it was less than $10. Now, number 3, from at least in or about April of 2020 up to and including in or about July 2011, this scamming ass pastor elicited approximately $30,000 from an individual who attended his church, victim number 1, through a series of cell phone and internet communications with victim number 1 and her son. Now, under the terms of their agreement, this scamming ass pastor would use the money to assist this woman in obtaining a home. And after doing so, he would otherwise be able to use the money as an investment in his real estate business. Now, if you don't remember, or you don't recall, I've been talking about him for a while. This was when he swindled this congregant of his, this woman that went to his church, swindled her out of her life savings, out of $90,000, and said, hey, I'm gonna help you with your credit, get this right, and we're gonna get you a house. Give me all the money, liquidate all the assets that you have right now. Give it to me, and I'm gonna get you this house. And what I'll do for you once you liquidate all of your assets is I'll give you $100 a month to live off of. He said, I'll give you $100 to live off of once you liquidate all your assets and give it to me because you don't have the best credit, so I'm gonna help you get a house. I ain't blaming the woman, I ain't blaming her, church going woman. Some people feel extremely safe in the church, but you always need to have your guard up. Okay. So this is who they're talking about here with this situation. Okay. So, however, shortly after this woman that went to his old church transferred Whitehead, let's get to the next page. Shortly after she transferred the monies to him from her retirement savings, this scamming ass pastor instead used this woman's money to purchase thousands of dollars of luxury goods and clothing, and he continued to use her money for his own purposes. Now, the scamming ass pastor never helped this woman that attended his church at the time obtain a home, and has not returned her money either, despite her request that he do so. Number 4. In or about April and May of 2022, this scamming ass pastor attempted to convince a businessman to lend him approximately $500,000, $500,000, and give him an estate in certain real estate transactions. And this scamming ass pastor told this victim number 2 that in exchange for this money and interest in real estate transactions, that the scamming ass pastor would obtain favorable actions by the New York City government for the victim, and that the victim would enrich both the pastor, the scamming ass pastor, and the victim. Now, when Bishop Lamor Whitehead knew that he had no ability to obtain such actions, despite that knowledge, the scamming ass pastor told this victim that they would make millions. Now, here's number 5. Near the beginning of his relationship with victim number 2, Lamor Whitehead also used threats of force to obtain $5,000 from a business owned by victim number 2. At the direction of law enforcement, victim number 2 made the payment to the scamming ass pastor. Now, during the course of the investigation into the conduct into Bishop Lamor Whitehead, special agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigations executed a search warrant. They executed a search warrant. The search warrant was for cell phones on the person of Bishop Lamor Whitehead. He told the agents that he owned only the cell phone, which was then on his person. And when Bishop Lamor Whitehead knew that he, in fact, owned a second cell phone, which is phone number 2 listed here, which he regularly used before and after the execution of the warrant, including to send a text message in which Whitehead identified his phone number 2 as my other phone, shortly after telling the agents that he didn't have any other phones. Now, here's the part that they're really getting him on. They're investigating him. The feds are investigating him to figure out what he has and has not done, to really figure this thing out. And so when they first started investigating him, he told them he only had one phone, which was a lie because he had another one. Somehow the feds find out. The feds gonna find out regardless, right? And so lying to the feds about anything, especially with having a phone when they're trying to track all that you're doing and all that you're saying and to who you're saying it to, it's a big deal. And I guess he thought that secret phone was never going to be found out. This was something that we learned about around about December when the first indictment came out. He might have thought it was not a big deal. He went in the back of his closet, got his phone number 2, and text somebody, yeah, this is my other phone. Well, the feds have already tapped into everything in the parameter of your living space. And so for you to be texting somebody that they know that you know and telling them, this is my other phone. Now, here they are labeling it as phone number 2, and you've described it as my other phone and identified yourself as Lamor Miller-Whitehead, aka scamming ass pastor. That's a big deal to the feds, because what are you hiding if you're telling them that you only have one phone and you really got 2? Means you still want to have secret communication with someone to still do your dirt, knowing that they're tapping phone number 1. So you figure I'm gonna go do my dirt on phone number 2, and they've also tapped that as well. So it's a big deal, especially we talk about the feds. We're not talking about the state. The feds, a whole nother level. Okay. So phone number 2, which he regularly used before and after the execution of the warrant, including to send a text message in which he identified phone number 2 as my other phone shortly after telling the agents that he didn't have any other phones. So here's count number 1, which is wire fraud. The grand jury charges the allegations contained in paragraphs 1 through 6 above are hereby repeated, alleged, and incorporated by reference as if fully set forth herein. From at least in or about April of 2020 up to and including in or about June of 2021 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Lamor Whitehead, having devised and intending to devise a scheme to defend for obtaining money and property by means of false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promise, transmitted and caused to be transmitted by means of wire, radio, and television communication in interstate and foreign commerce, writings, signals, pictures, and sounds for the purpose of executing such scheme and artifice, to wit, Whitehead made material misrepresentations to victim number 1 and her son to obtain money. Let's get to the next page. Now, this is back to the woman he swindled $90,000 from victim number 1 as purported real estate investment, which he received in part through use of interstate wire, when he in fact intended to use the investment in whole or in part for personal purposes. Now, here's count number 2, also attempted wire fraud. The grand jury further charges the allegations contained in paragraphs 1 through 6 above are hereby repeated, alleged, and incorporated by reference as if fully set forth herein. Around April and May of 2022 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Lamor Whitehead, having devised and intending to devise a scheme to defraud and for obtaining money and property by means of false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises. He's transmitted and caused to be transmitted by means of wire, radio, television, communication, interstate commerce, signs, signals, and he's the misrepresentation of victim 2. Okay, so the first one was about 1. This is about victim 2. A lot of this is identical verbiage, meaning he's done the same thing to different people over and over again. Okay, let's see what the next page is about. 1 through 6, February. Okay, so these are just different dates and some of the same crime. Okay, no, this is a little bit different here. Count 3 is a bit different. Okay. From in or about February 2022 through in or about April of 2022, the defendant knowingly and willingly committed and attempted to commit extortion, as that term as defined in 18, and they list the exact law or statute, by obtaining and attempting to obtain money and property from another person with his consent, which consent was and would have been induced by the wrongful use of actual and threatened force, violence, and fear, and thereby would and did obstruct, delay, affect commerce and the movement of articles and commodities in commerce, as that term is defined in, and they have the specific law or statute, to wit, this scamming ass pastor used threats of force to attempt to obtain $5,000 from a business located in part in the Bronx in New York, owned by victim number 2. Let's get to the next page. And we really don't have that much more to go, so it's not going to be a long thing. I think we got like 2-3 pages left. Count 5. Let's see if this is any different. This is the same as the other ones. What's the victim number here? June of 2018. A scheme to defraud for obtaining money and property, means of false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, promises transmitted, wire, radio, television, interstate. And this was when an effort to obtain $250,000, $250,000, made material misrepresentations regarding the finances of the Anointing Management Services, LLC. You know, that one that had less than $10 in the account? Yeah, that business account, that LLC. Which, what is this? Misrepresentations were conveyed and in turn relate to potential lenders through interstate wires and otherwise. Okay. And as a matter of fact, those are literally all the pages. So it really wasn't a lot. I think we went over like 10 or 11 pages here, but it really wasn't a lot because some of the stuff just gets to be kind of just repetition. But that's because he's literally committing the same crime over and over again to different people. But this is what's going on. They're adding on another charge. It might even be more than one charge. It sounds like it's just like the same charge over and over again. But they're tacking onto his existing indictment. Okay. So it's pretty crazy. It's a lot that he has going on. Okay. Do I have any Lamor Whitehead fans or cappers up in here? Do I have any of them? Anybody in here a fan of him, or they feel like we need to stop slandering him, or you want to plead his case as to why he's such a great person or a man of God? Anybody? Anybody? No? Okay. Just wonder, because I'll let you come up and speak your piece. Okay? Let you come up and speak your piece. But this man is literally just the devil that knows about 3 Bible verses. Like, that's literally what is going on. They said crickets. I mean, hey, because I will literally let you come up here and speak. I really will. But he's faking bank statements. He's not as rich as he says. In the video that I did before this, he what did he do? He just lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. He's just an all-around horrible person. Like, an all-around horrible person. Horrible. Oh, that's what he did. He filed bankruptcy. He's trying to steal this church from these folks who have been in this building, renovated this building, really turned it into what they really want it to be. And they've been granted ownership or possession of their own property 2 times while fighting with this man in court. And the last time that they were granted possession of their own property, Lamor Whitehead was ordered to turn the keys over and to turn the whole building over to the rightful owners by 5 o'clock that same day. Well, 2 days later, he filed, or not even 2 days later, 2 hours later, he files for bankruptcy, because that puts a freeze and a stay on everything that it makes it so that if something goes down in court and you file bankruptcy, like, there's a stay. It stays that away. Like, it kind of freezes the order, so to speak. So it's a lot of shady stuff that he does that's going on here. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, him and his attorney don't show up to court dates. His attorney was speaking out against him last year before he got on his team. It's just a big mess. It's just a whole big mess. It really is. So, somebody said, what, Trump? He has that Trump quality, bringing too much attention to himself. Good point. What they say, the shade of the thumbnail. Okay, less than $10 in the bank. Because I just couldn't believe it when I heard that. I'm like, why would you even lie about having $2 million if you only got you know what I'm saying, like $4.08 or $7 in your bank account? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. But he's a different level of bold. Certain scammers and things, they move that way. It's a mess. But I had to come let you know. This is a quick video. I don't think anybody wants to call in, but what I'll do is I will give y'all a chance to put your final questions and thoughts in the chat. We're going to play my quick commercial that is really just a big thank you to my channel members. Put your channel emojis. If you are a channel member, put your channel emojis in the chat. If you're not a channel member, drop some pancakes in the chat. We'll be right back. And then we finna get out of here. I did 3 lives this evening. Your girl is tired and she's trying to chill and watch something new on Netflix. And I think I know what I'm going to watch, but I'm not going to tell y'all, but we're going to talk about it backstage, as we always do. Drop them pancakes, drop them emojis. Let's go.
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
So wait a minute, you ain't joined the channel yet so that you can access special perks over here with the plainest Jane?
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Ooh, watch this. Hey, I'm the plainest Jane. I'm a cultural commentator and informant, and I provide sticky coverage on trending stories, black news, Black culture, and everyday topics with a sticky, abstract perspective. So get familiar with the perks. I've carefully curated all of these things, and it's just a little exclusive glaze to amplify the way that you express yourself. So get comfortable, get used to our official emoji over here. That is the pancake stack, because it's always sticky in Hollywood and in real life, and especially when you spend the time over here with the Plainest Jane. Like I said, I hope you enjoy the exclusive glaze that I've provided for you to amplify the way you express yourself, and I hope you enjoy the digital vibe. Hey, listen, I always want you to keep it sticky, but be sure to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. But most importantly, I hope that you're feeling all right, and hopefully you've had some time to tackle some of your invisible problems. I know I got a couple of new subscribers, and I just want to say thank y'all. I really do appreciate you. And if you're not quite feeling all right, this channel right here, once you join, it's going to help you kick back and decompress always, but it'll also keep you in the know with what's happening with the best Black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. So again, get comfortable. The first drink is on me. All right, act like you got some sense, and I'll see you around. But don't forget to keep it sticky 24/7 by following me on Instagram, but hit that notification bell so that you always know when I upload and you get your dose of syrup first. Now, with all that stickiness being said, the most important thing I want you to remember about this neck of the woods and the Plainest Jane is Black Lives Matter. And if you don't agree,
Buy pumpkin. That would take you out. I don't play that shit.
Now you gotta go for real.
it's just that simple. Hey, look, whether you join or not, I do want you to stay beautiful, Black, and blessed. And just know I appreciate your support. I'm your girl, the Plainest Jane. And let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right, now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now.
Someone says, Light Vision says, a definite different type of bowl. Absolutely. He's a different type of bowl. He has no desire. I think he spent like 5.5 years in jail. And that's enough to, I don't know. I would think that that's enough time to make somebody want to do right so that you ain't got to spend that much time in there again. But he ain't interested in living right. He is just not interested. Like, he only wants to do dirt. Okay. He only wants to do dirt. Hey, Fiora. I'm gonna have to catch up on all the videos I missed. Yes. We have got the momentum going. This is our third live of the evening. Leo, you're supposed to be on this side. You're supposed to be on this side. You're supposed to be over here. You want to come back over here? Up here. Come on. Up here. And say hello to the people. Say hey. He said, man, fuck them people. Give me that treat. Give me that Becky. Give me that treat. Say hey to the people. He's a good boy. He's so spoiled. All right, don't turn around and show him your butt. Just sit. I'm supposed to give you... You little nasty butt. Ain't no... Come on, get that. Lord. Say, just look at the people. Just for me one time. Just look at the people. Look at... He don't care, y'all. It's the Cuban link for me, Big Drit. Okay, Big Drit. All right, Big Drit. Would you love me if I didn't have these treats? All right, but they can't see your face if you get... All right, buddy. That's it. You came in on the tail end of this thing. How many do you think we want to get? About to hit end on the thing, and you think you're gonna get like 4 or 5 of these things? If you sat here throughout the whole video, you would, that's the end. You think you about to get some more? Yeah, I love you too. That's cool and everything. Get your little butt out their face. Don't nobody want to see that. So you can't do a little camera time because it ain't no more treats. Leo, you don't want me on the camera no more? Okay. All right. He about his money. He said, I'm black. Oh, I need to get paid. You got paid. Leo. What you don't want to just get the people a little look. They like you. They like you more than they like me. I don't have anything else for you, buddy. Just look at them. Them the people that need something. I live with you. Yeah, up there. Right, I get it. Yeah. I always need a pet. All right, you're not about to walk across the computer, though. All right, this is where the buck stops. All right, come on, get down. Yeah. Get down. Look at you knocking lipsticks and things over. Get down. Yeah. Come back over here. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lady 747. I appreciate the Cash App. You see, you get on camera and the people sends over things. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you need to be on the job more often. All right? That's what's really going on. Okay. In conclusion, Bishop Lamor Whitehead is a scammer. I heard that he was on live yesterday talking crap about bloggers. And I'm like, not the way he was going back and forth with Larry Reed, because it was giving blogger himself. A blogger, a cheater, a deceiver, heartbreaker, and I won't let you back in my life. So I'm taking the house, the car, the kids, and the dog. I want it all. You're nothing but church still deceive. Okay? He ain't got no business talking about bloggers, when at best that's what the hell he is. He ain't no goddamn pastor. Pastor where? Bishop where? Man of God where? Where? Can barely quote scripture. Okay? Church swindler. Heartbreaker. Okay? Get him up out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Okay? At best, he's a sick Negro ass blogger. That's exactly what he is.
Why?
Anyway, it's late. Before I act up too much, let me, because I'm ready to act up and laugh. I should have had some more topics up ahead with this, because I'm ready to laugh and cut loose. I really am. Bishop Lamor is enough to cut loose about, but Bishop where? And I just want to go back and smack whoever the hell ordained him. Like who went ahead and gave him the right of way to say, you know what, he's a bishop? Who the gave him that liberty? I want to know what God says to them at the pearly gates. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Because it's not making any sense at all. Not to me. Somebody said church fan waving. Okay. My church fan. My little child. Bye, y'all. Let me get up out of here. this was a quick video. I'm enjoying doing the quick videos. I hope you all are enjoying my momentum being a bit higher. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes y'all might get like 2 videos from me a week, and that's it. And I took some time off. I got my mental health right. And now I'm feeling hella refreshed. And I even saw somebody on the community tab earlier today under my sticky note that I posted this morning. It was like, Jane, you've been looking pretty fresh lately. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you can even see that. Because yes, I've absolutely done a mental reset and really just rejuvenated and recalibrated the way that I've been doing things lately. And it feels good. It feels great. I'm glad that you all can see it. Well, some of you all can see it. And like I said, I told you I'd be pivoting, and I'm moving a little different, just a little different. Because I realize sometimes I'm so depleted because I want to give so much. I want to give so much. And I got to take it one day at a time and realize that I can only do so much. So without saying too much, I will get more into that backstage on the members only sometime this week. If y'all don't get a video tomorrow, I think I've earned it because I gave y'all 3 today. All right. But knowing me, you probably will get a video tomorrow because I'm on it, baby. I'm on it. Let's get it. And what's really important, here's the most important thing that I want y'all to take from this. Y'all have to watch this video that I did earlier today. Let me make it a little big on the screen. Y'all need to go watch this man's story. 24 years old, unarmed, presumably beaten to death and brutalized by police in Minnesota. Of course, they claim they didn't do it and they didn't have any contact with him. But his body says something totally different. And the medical examiner's report, the autopsy report, conflicts with the state that the body was found in. This man was 6 foot tall, all right? And he was found in 2 feet of water in a lake that was 2 feet shallow. And they said it was an accidental drowning. And he could swim. I don't know what 6 foot person that can or cannot swim, but that can swim is drowning in 2 feet of water and had dog bites all over his corpse. It's not making any sense. Please go check out this video. This video is this man's name and his story has zero media coverage. None. It's really important that you all go check that out. So please watch the video. Please share the video. Hit thumbs up on the video. Not for me, but for him. When I'm not talking about Black tragedies and I'm asking y'all to support videos, it's for the betterment and the growth and the reach, to expand the reach of my channel. But for videos like that, it has nothing to do with me. You go search his name on YouTube right now, Khalil Azad. You'll see nothing but a handful of news clips, and not one YouTuber has talked about it yet besides myself. Please go share this young man's story. This family is demanding answers. This family is demanding justice. This happened in July of last year. And the police are just releasing a press release about it to get their narrative and their story straight, because it does definitely look and it seems to be that there's a cover-up going on here. So please check that story out. I beg you. I do want to give you a trigger warning. I will be showing the pictures there. So when you hear me give the trigger warning and talking about the pictures, you might want to look away, because it is raw and it is uncut and it is enough to turn your stomach and make you cry. And I'm not kidding you. But please check that story out. It's important. I'll cut up. I'll laugh and joke. But when it's time to get serious and cover Black news, I'm all about the balance. So I am going to talk about stories and coverage. And if it was your cousin or your sister or my cousin, my sister, my nephew, my neighbor, I would want y'all to do the same, just like y'all would want somebody to do the same too, if nobody was doing anything. Why did they just release a press release on February 27th and March 3rd when this happened in July of 2022? They thought nobody was going to make noise about this. They thought it was just going to go down quietly. They brutalized and beat this man to death and dumped his body in the river. A lake, excuse me. Please check it out. Please. Okay. Torian did a video on it. I'm going to go check out Torian's video as soon as I end this one. Cool. I watched the video earlier. But thank you so much, Miss Kim Johnson. I appreciate that. Really unfortunate story. Okay. I love you all so much, though. Mind your mental health, mind your mental peace. Please make sure you check out the community tab if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for doing so. I thank you in advance. Make sure you do something to decompress today. Make sure you do something to make yourself feel better after you watch my video. Even if you want to watch the video before this, when we talk about what's his name, Lamar scam, pulpit pimping, stealing the churches. That's what we talked about in the last video. But the video before that is the other one that's kind of sad. If you can't handle it, mind your mental peace. Don't watch it, right? Maybe not today. Maybe just click on the video and hit pause and read the narrative that I put in the description box. And I am going to make noise about it on Twitter tomorrow while I'm at work. I'll be tweeting about it a couple of times and tweeting out the raw images as well. So just keep his name in mind and realize what happened to him, even if you can't watch the video. Okay. So I hope y'all have a really good evening. I've had a really busy evening with you all. Yeah, this was really great. Thank you all so much. Hit thumbs up if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? Let's go ahead and change the energy before we get out of here. Okay.
My wife's name out your
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him.
All right. I was actually looking for the R. Kelly one before we get up out of here.
Baltimore, I can't see you. Where you at?
Yo, killing me with this. I can't help here.
Robert.
I can't help You're killing me, man. This ain't not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Man, y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with killing me, man. Trying to kill me. Killing me, man. Trying to kill me. Y'all want to believe it. Trying to kill me. Killing me, man. Trying to kill me. I hope this camera keep going. Stupid R. Kelly. Fight for my life. Stupid R. Kelly. Do it. Fight him. Stupid R. Kelly. Fight for my life. Stupid R. Kelly. Do it. Fight him.
Okay. 30 years. 30 years is right, buddy. It's right, buddy. All right. I hope y'all have a good evening. I hope your dinner was amazing. I hope your bowel movements come out okay. All right. Hope you don't have to strain and do too much craziness. You know what I mean? But I'm going to get out of here. All right. Gonna get out of here. Enjoy the rest of my evening. Catch something on Netflix. I will see you all tomorrow. I know I said I might not do something tomorrow, but honestly, I'm in the groove and I'm just feeling like being hella consistent. So you're definitely gonna catch some things from me tomorrow. Okay. I love you all so much. Y'all make sure to stay beautiful, black, and blessed until the next video. Leo. Get down. Get down. It's not a thank you because it's not a question. Woo, this little sassy ass. I I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night, stickies, and deuces.
But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen, or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.